Adam Christ from MyMMAnews.com, being joined by Sean Leahy, who I don't know if he knows it yet, but I'm going to drop the news on him. He is the heavyweight fastest knockout in U.S.K.A. history. I don't know if you knew that, but I talked to Gary Grant today, and he told me the news before I got a chance to talk to you. So we're here at Chalk-D Athletics after his 13-second knockout win over Dan Attinger this past Saturday at U.S.K.A. Muay Thai in the Cage. It took place right outside of his home gym, the Patriot Ice Center, home of Chalk-D Athletics. Sean, I appreciate your time, brother. How are you?
Thank you very much. I'm well.
So what can you say about your knockout other than it was absolutely fantastic? Obviously, you set a record for U.S.K.A. I want to talk about your history in martial arts, you being a Marine, you being a hockey, as they call them, goon. I want to get a little bit into your history. So first and foremost, I appreciate you joining me. And how did that knockout feel?
It felt great. I mean, put a lot of hard work into the gym, and there's a lot of people that were counting on me from, my family, and having Bazooka Joe Stripling as your coach is a lot of incentive to go out there and do what you're supposed to do. So there's a lot of people that put a lot of hard work into making sure I was prepared and that we're here. I mean, we had guys that had fought the weekend before that showed up on Monday to make sure I had sparring partners and make sure I had guys to hold pads when they didn't need to be here, and they showed up. So I had a lot of people that put a lot and sacrificed a lot for me to do that. So it felt really good to perform and to not let those people down. So it was good.
It was, again, I can't talk how good the performance was, but I want to talk about your history. So when you first got into Chalk-D Athletics, what first brought you here?
It's kind of a long story. So
all yours.
So I had. I played hockey my entire life. I've been an athlete, from the time I was a little kid, and I played up through college. And I had a brief introduction to Muay Thai way back in 2000. I had finished playing hockey in college. I had a semester left to finish before I could commission into the Marine Corps, and I was climbing the walls at my house, and there was a gym up in Milwaukee where I was living at the time, right down the street, and I wandered in and said, "What's this Muay Thai thing?" And I trained under a guy named Oscar Medina for about 6 months. And at that point, I had finished finished college and commissioned in the Marine Corps and went into the Marine Corps. So I had a brief introduction there, and then in the Marine Corps, there was, there's the Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, which is a good program. It's a blend of a lot of different disciplines, and so did some work into that. But most of the sparring and most of the stuff I did was just Marines being meatheads, beating the shit out of each other. There wasn't a lot of technique. It was just, us being aggressive and going after each other and just getting good at close interpersonal violence. And I spent 14 years as an infantry officer in the Marine Corps. And then when I got off active duty about 3 years ago, and was really kind of searching and a little bit lost. I had lost that kind of, the camaraderie that I had there. I've been in the locker room. I mean, the Marine Corps is just an extension of the locker room that hockey was. And so those types of connections weren't there. And I had done some boxing up here. I'm at the rink every day because I'm coaching my kid, and I just happened to wander upstairs. And to be honest with you, I thought I was going to be wandering up to some, I didn't know what I was walking into. But I had no idea I was going to be walking up to, the premier Muay Thai gym in the state of Delaware. Mm-hmm. When I walked in, and I remember introducing myself to Joe, and he was saying, "You've done this before?" And I was like, "Well, kinda." And he was like, "Well, never. How about you sign up and we'll figure it out?" And it's been great. He's been awesome to me. He does he really builds a family here, and everybody kind of welcomed me in and started to work, and it's just been a pleasure to come here. So that's kind of what got me into this gym.
So talking to Bazooka Joe Stripling, who will be fighting in August for Lion Fight on UFC Fight Pass. Make sure you check out Bazooka Joe Stripling in the heavyweight tournament. But back to you real quick. Talking to Bazooka Joe, he said that you were the hardest puncher that he's ever gotten a chance to spar with. That 13 seconds got to prove that. Did you anticipate the fight going that way?
No, I didn't at all. I was prepared for really any eventuality. I mean, for me, my biggest thing going into it, and what I had told, all the people closest to me in my life is, I'll be happy if I go in there and I give it my best. My biggest fear was that I was going to hold back, or I was going to hesitate, and I wasn't going to go forward. So that was my focus, was just, when he says fight, you're at a fight, and you go and you fight, and just go in there and do it. And I didn't expect it would work out as well as it did. I'm very happy that it did, and especially here on kind of my home turf. So, but no, I did not. I was prepared for it to go 3 rounds. I was prepared to be in Daniel's position as well and be the guy looking up. And I knew I'd be okay as long as I was looking up, knowing that I went in there and gave it my all, and somebody got the best of me. Because at the end of the day, it's a fist fight, and somebody wins, somebody loses. So I did not go in there with any. I was fully intending on doing exactly what I did, but I didn't see it as a foregone conclusion.
And like you said, you were outside of your home gym. You had your family, you had your hockey people, you had some of your Marine brothers out there, and then you had your son come into the ring to present you your award. Tell me how that felt.
That was special. It was really cool to see him come up there. Those both of those boys are, the greatest thing in my life, and to have them look up and to see that, and have them present me with that ring was a really special moment that I'll treasure forever.
That's awesome. So obviously you have a competitive nature in you, the Marines, the hockey, the Muay Thai, you have everything. And now, with that fantastic knockout, it makes me wonder, are you looking to get back in there anytime soon? The fastest knockout in U.S.K.A. history. So people know you're a hard hitter. People know that you come and you don't play games. Do you have any looking to get back in there?
I'll definitely fight again.
Yes.
I absolutely will. I still haven't quite scratched that itch, and I think that there's, I love to compete. This is, a big reason that I'm drawn to martial arts. So I get asked the question a lot. At 41 years old, I had buddies calling me up when they heard that I was fighting, saying, "You're 41, you're going through a midlife crisis. Like, what the hell's wrong with you?" And so, I thought about it a lot as far as what made me want to do this, and a lot of it goes back to the time I spent in the Marines, and especially when I was in Afghanistan and in Iraq, particularly my deployment to Afghanistan when I was there. If you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, like there was an 8-month period where I was living down, in that kind of bottom tier, physiological and physical protection type stuff. Like I was worried about my physical safety. I was worried about taking care of my guys, and every day we showed up, we had a mission, we had a purpose, and it was survival, and it was it was very base. So in some ways it was some of the hardest months of my life. In other ways it was the simplest time that I ever had. You come back, I transition out of the Marine Corps, I'm working in a corporate job, and you get very comfortable, and now we're living up towards like this self-esteem, self-actualization place where you're in your head a lot, and that can be a dangerous place to be for myself and for a lot of veterans and a lot of my buddies who found themselves once they get into that spot. And in a gym like this, and in doing Muay Thai and coming in here, like I'll tell you what, I'm not worried about anything other than Joe Stripling or any of these guys other than in this gym when they're standing in front of me sparring. Like all that stuff kind of bleeds away, and there's peace in that for me. So I will continue to compete. I find peace in martial arts. It's been a lifesaver for me because there's a lot of other things that are a hell of a lot more dangerous than martial arts and Muay Thai that people use to fill that void, and that I have in the past used to fill that void. I think that martial arts, specifically Muay Thai for me, has saved my life in a lot of ways in just being in here and competing. I've got no delusions of grandeur as far as taking this any further than I'm going to continue to train. I'll compete when I can, and because for me this is again part of my family here.
Yeah, and we're in a world today where obviously combat sports is thriving. I mean, between Muay Thai, bare knuckle fighting, MMA, everything is just, it's on the up and up. So I'm curious, why Muay Thai? What does Muay Thai do for you that draws you in?
I love there's a lot of things about it. One, I'm much better standing up than I am on my back. Is one. I've done a little bit of jiu-jitsu. I prefer this. I enjoy it more. Two, I love the tradition of it and the discipline that comes with it. I love the challenge that it brings in there. And when you get into a Muay Thai fight, there's you're in a fist fight. There's more immediacy there and more. I don't know. It's to me, it feels a hell of a lot more real and much more like combat and much more intense and kind of in your face than the other sports. So that's why I love it.
Man, so obviously you want to make your comeback. Is there any date that you want to get your comeback in? Is there any time frame that you're looking to get back?
I'll leave that up to Coach Stripling as far as setting a specific time. I still work a full-time job. I actually just got back into the Marine Corps Reserve, so I'm serving again. So that takes up some time. I'm coaching the Bantam hockey team, so I've got a lot of irons in the fire, so to speak, that I'm trying to juggle. But I will certainly be back. I think I'm probably targeting sometime this fall to get back in the ring when I can, take care of some other priorities and get those things set into a spot where I can focus on this because, this isn't something you do halfway.
You can't.
Yeah.
Well, I look forward to seeing you back in the ring. It was amazing to see firsthand seeing that knockout. It was amazing getting to talk to you in the ring for the brief time we did. I appreciate you taking the time today. And I appreciate your time overseas, everything you've done for the country. Congratulations on the knockout, and thank you for your time, brother.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Sean Leahy, after his 13-second knockout, fastest knockout in U.S.K.A. heavyweight history, he took out Dan Attinger at U.S.K.A. Muay Thai in the cage this past Saturday at the Patriot Ice Center right outside of his home at Chalkdee Athletics. And for Sean Leahy, I'm Adam Christ. Make sure you keep it locked to my MMAnews.com for all your fight news needs.